Yo, what's up, QuinSan? Welcome back to another reaction video. Today, we react to top 10 British bands. The top 10 British bands who never cracked America. So yeah, before we go into the video, guys, make sure to smash the subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
I like the video.
Yes, sir.
We'd love to see on the channel.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we're ready to go into the video.
I mean, we're ready now. What I was waiting for.
I'm ready, mate.
Let's go.
Watch Mojo.
Powerpuff Girls.
These musical groups found fame in the UK, but they remained relatively obscure in the US.
Well, do you know any British band?
Queen.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you know they were British?
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British bands who never cracked America.
We never cracked America, like they never got.
They never go like
publish
out.
new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on bands that never experienced continuous commercial success in America.
Oh, sorry, I've never really heard about them.
Number 10, Supergrass. For a British band to successfully cross over into America, it's crucial to capitalize upon the buzz. And for Oxford group Supergrass,
Wait, was this the where
it's
Rammstein
crucial
performed?
to capitalize upon the buzz.
This place.
No, it wasn't Rammstein. It was, I forgot the name of the group, but it wasn't Rammstein. Where we couldn't see the end of.
Metallica.
Yeah,
Metallica.
And for Oxford group Supergrass, well, they failed to expand beyond their native demographic.
Why is it like
With their
Wolverine?
1995 debut album I Should Coco, Supergrass briefly reached the #1 in the UK charts and actually released 2 more albums by the end of the 90s. By that time though, music trends had changed significantly in the US and, well, Supergrass began to drift away, barely cracking the US top 200 with 2002's Life on Other Planets. Sadly, it all ended with an internal Twitter beef. Number 9, Madness.
Wow, for the saxophonist. Saxophonist.
Saxophone. Madness.
Oh.
During the late 70s and early 80s, this band was far more...
They look so
than just a
British, you know?
wonder in the UK.
Yeah, the
In
Peaky
fact,
Blinders.
it
The
was
Peaky
an
Blinders.
American band that would ultimately become No Doubt.
In the middle of our street, our house.
And like Gwen Stefani's versatile group, Madness didn't align themselves with a specific genre, as they blended together a variety of musical styles. With that being said, Madness was, in fact, linked to skinheads in their early days, which perhaps negatively affected larger-scale opportunities. Regardless, the UK band experienced great success during their initial 10 years.
What? Okay, that's madness.
One of their
That's some
acclaimed
madness.
albums cracked the US top 100 charts.
Oh, this is black person was powerful. This black guy was
Number
powerful.
8, Take That.
Take that.
Wow.
Wait, Westlife is what? Is it American or British?
I don't know. I don't know much about bands.
By the mid-90s, the legendary music executive Clive
But you know Harry
Davis
Styles,
signed
right?
this UK
That's
boy
true.
band
Is
to
he-
a
is
record
he
deal
Weeknd?
with
American?
Arista, but
He's
Take
American.
That had already begun to self-destruct. In their prime, Gary Barlow stunned critics with his songwriting skills, and a young Robbie Williams displayed his obvious star power. And so, Take That seemed prime for America. Yet Williams quit in 1996, just as the pop
Oh my
scene
God,
was
this
about
guy
to
looks
change in
hot.
the United States. The group initially formed in the early 90s, and despite 3 well-received albums, Take That just didn't seem to have the right amount of mojo to keep it going, although the core members would later reunite with Williams in 2010. Number 7, Kasabian.
It's crazy because I've never for once heard about all the 4 groups.
Yeah,
you've mentioned.
but I don't know if they're still going. Because actually, like, I'm not really into band, so
But did you hear about Queen? You know, Westlife,
yeah.
the Backstreet Boys, and all of them.
American indie fans have certainly heard of this group from Leicester, despite the fact that Kasabian's lead singer Sergio Pizzorno once noted that he hates indie bands. So that's one thing to consider when thinking about Kasabian's failed American crossover. UK, they reached number 4 on the UK charts with their self-titled 2004 debut, and the next
Kasabian.
several albums managed to reach
Kasabian.
number 1. By 2013, however, guitarist Jay Mellor actually left to play with Liam Gallagher, formerly of Oasis, while Tom Meehan cited unfinished business in America around the same time. However, the 2014 album 4813 failed to chart in the US, and maybe Kasabian just wasn't ready for a committed American crossover.
Wait, they are shooting with guitars.
Number 6, Happy Mondays.
But are Mondays ever happy? Everyone is like always gloomy on Mondays.
Now this Mojoholics is what we call a Manchester band. From 1980 to 1993, Happy Mondays managed to gain quite the following in the UK, certainly with their 1990 album Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches. But considering that a
music
band
has
like
truly
New Kids on the
evolved,
Block was
sure.
big in the United States at the time,
Wow!
there's one
Oh
reason
my
why the
God.
Happy Mondays sound failed to connect with the American mainstream. Even so, this is a band that heavily influenced some of the more notable UK bands of the 90s, such as Oasis and the Stone Roses. Yet their sound embodies more of a distinct Euro vibe rather than trendy American hooks. Number 5, Stereophonics.
Stereophonics.
From the late 90s to the early 2000s, this Welsh band established
Maybe
a
we are too young
reputation
to
for their
actually-
killer live shows. However, Stereophonics ultimately dismissed original drummer Stuart Cable in 2003, reportedly
Are they a
because
rock
he was
band?
more interested in his TV show than the band. Sadly, Cable would pass away just 7 years later.
Oh.
In their prime, Stereophonics was known as one of the most talented UK bands, releasing 5 #1 albums throughout the 2000s.
Wow,
Yet
5
only
number
one of
one.
those, 2001's
In
Just
UK.
Enough Education to Perform,
the
managed
club
to
is-
continues in their native Wales as one of the most... Number 4, Manic Street Preachers.
How did they come up with these names though? Manic Street Preachers.
Like many overly ambitious rock bands, this Wales group
No, it's a rock
influentially
band.
hyped up their
It's a
1992
Wales
debut
group as well.
album, Generation Terrorists, and, well, failed to crack the top 10 in the UK charts. In fact, the Manics wouldn't land a #1 until 6 years later, this coming 3 years after the mysterious disappearance of the celebrated songwriter and guitarist Richie Edwards. Their music is pure rock.
Wow.
But the mysterious disappearance, I don't get it. Like, they've still not seen him or what?
Something that US rock enthusiasts could easily get behind, or so it would seem. But while the Manics became iconic figures overseas, their sound just never translated to American mainstream consumers. Decades after the loss of Edwards, however, the Manics continue to wail.
Wow.
Number 3, Pulp.
Maybe because they sing pop music, you know?
By the time of this band's success during the mid-90s Britpop era, they had already been together well over 15 years. And until then, Pulp had never actually landed a gold record, let alone an American hit.
Wow.
But albums like Different Class and This Is Hardcore teased at a potential American crossover, with the latter finding its way to the US charts in 1996. At this time, though, reported drug use and internal scuffling shook up the band, and Pulp's final album was ultimately released in the early fall of 2001, peaking at number 6 in the UK charts. For a brief time, this group was on par with the likes of Oasis, but like the Gallaghers, Pulp just couldn't manage to keep the unit together. Number 2, The Jam.
Jam.
Wow. There's so many bands.
Fronted by the multi-talented Paul Weller, a man known for his distinct British compositions, this band came, saw and conquered during their decade-long existence. Well, at least in the UK.
I first felt a fist, and then a kick. I could now smell their breath.
Aesthetically, the Jam
It's really
preceded
good.
punk, and they called it quits just as the new wave took off in the early 80s. In between, they released 6 acclaimed studio albums, with the last 5 climbing the UK charts. Truth be told, the Jam had somewhat of a steady presence in the US charts during their run,
But
but
their
despite their
outfits
stylized
is
looks
so
and
UK.
obvious talent, the party ended with the 1982 release, The Gift. And just like that, the Jam was gone before Americans could catch on. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Sweet.
Maximum bar.
The Water Boys. Wow, the camera quality though.
What's up, men, or what's up, boys?
Maybe when they started, they were boys.
Number 1, The Stone Roses.
I still haven't.
I was hoping we would at least know the number 1. Why is this guy walking here?
If you're even vaguely familiar with the bravado and attitude of Oasis, well, let's just say the Gallagher brothers were inspired by the Stone Roses. This is a band that once said America doesn't deserve us yet, and while they may have been right, the Stone Roses didn't seem in a hurry to record consistent music after the renowned 1989 debut.
I swear.
In fact, it took a full 5 years for the Manchester group to drop a second album, and the band
Okay, they're from
folded a bit
Manchester.
less of 2 years later.
Manchester.
Since then, there has always been talks of a reunion, but it just never seems to happen. And so the Stone Roses will forever remain an acclaimed British rock band that failed to live up to their crossover potential. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other
I
great
mean,
clips
we
from
can't
Watch
disagree
Mojo.
because we don't even know much about,
Yeah.
what we are talking about.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, guys. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you next time, guys.